Heidi Reese.
Good evening, Mayor, Pro Tem, council members. My name is Heidi Reese. I live at 1428 Sarah Court here in Allen. I've been a resident here in Allen for almost 10 years now. And not only am I a resident, I am also a school teacher here at Allen as well. And what I teach is environmental science. Now, to be an environmental science teacher, the state sets standards of what you're supposed to teach in class. And one of the things that I'm required to teach my students is where our energy comes from. And solar, of course, is part of that. And when I first started teaching this class 6 years ago, I talked about solar, and I said solar is, it's a great option someday in the future because we have to look at both pros and cons to all energy sources. And I said it was great, but it's really expensive at this point in time. So for, most people, they wouldn't be capable of putting it on their houses. Well, times have changed dramatically in the past 6 years. And so nowadays, I have to tell my students there are, communities out there where solar energy is cheaper than fossil fuel energy. And when my students hear that, they immediately think, well, to have a renewable resource as a cheaper alternative, or at least the same cost as fossil fuel energy, they're very excited about it because they've been learning since they were little kids that, solar is our future. Someday we'll be able to get it. And now they're hearing that solar is here. It's not something for tomorrow, it's right now. Now, when I tell them that and they're like, cool, I want some solar panels on my house, how do you do that? How do you set it up? Well, I say, well, unfortunately, Allen has an ordinance where Joe over here on one side of the classroom, you might be capable of putting on solar panels, but you, Susie on the other side of the classroom, you might be out of luck. And it's all based on where your house sits. Because in the city of Allen, it's one of the few cities that has the ordinance that reduces or restricts the front-facing solar panels. Here in Allen, it's a little unfair that we have to have that kind of restriction, but that is the way it is. The ordinance was passed in 2012, and that's what they decided. So for the students that I have, they don't get it. You have these looks on their faces like, why in the world would they restrict solar panels? They're cool. When students see solar panels, they don't see something that's ugly. They see something, and when they see it, they think the people who live in that house are two things. They're really rich because they were able to afford solar panels, and they also think that they're very cool. They're technologically advanced. Those are smart people. That is their persona of solar. They don't see those panels and see something ugly. They see something that is, cool, and they really like it. So it's hard for them to truly understand why we have the ordinance in the first place. But, I'm the teacher. I give them the information, and that's what it is. So I have to say that I'm going to go through here. That also with this ordinance, in a sense, it basically it reflects poorly on Allen's idea that they were a high-tech, progressive city. All of our students think that, we are top of the game, and we are the top of our game. But solar is not something that's part of a distant future. Maybe someday we'll have solar panel for everybody. It's now. It's right now. Let's see. So there are some people I know who have been impacted by this ordinance. They wanted to put solar panels on, and they were not allowed to do it because their house faced the street. So my neighbor was restricted by it, and also a lady I work with at school. She was restricted. 6 solar panels couldn't be installed when she had hers installed. So to say that it doesn't impact people here in Allen that live here right now, I know two personally that have been impacted by the solar ordinance. So it does impact people. But I just say it's time for Allen to embrace the changing times and not restrict us with outdated and discriminatory ordinances that not only hinder the residents of this community, but supports an idea that basically threatens our children's future. We need to step up. And if we say that solar panels are ugly, then that idea gets passed on. And when are we going to start thinking maybe it's not so ugly after all? Thank you.
Thank you.